Hey, what's up everybody? It's Heracles Porsche, also known as Gildenlock in other places. And in today's video, we're going to be taking you on a tour of pretty close to everything I have built on my multiplayer world in the forest. This world is just shy of 200 days old. You can see here we do have the view from just outside the plane, since that's kind of important, since I want people to get a sense of what they can expect coming off the plane. And we're going to be starting taking you to my main base in the fertile plains. We can get there pretty quick thanks to my funky little zipline system and bridge I have built. So I actually have two different zipline systems taking me to the main base. You see, we have a bridge made out of rafts. And actually, the most recent addition was the stairs leading onto that dock that leads to the raft bridge, and that lets me just shoot right onto the bridge there. I'll go a little bit more into the zipline system I've got built later, but first of all, we have a car built here. You can see, and it is built right next to an arena, and I'll give you a top-down view of that in just a second. But a quick note on the car. See, can I hit this thing? The car is actually an end game item, but strangely enough, I don't have Megan beat on this world. I can go beat the boss again, and and there's going to be several other items in that category, the end game items that I can do. And the reason I can build those is because I had friends I beat the game with, and then they saved, but I didn't in the end game state. So we just took this crane up. Seems pretty simple, right? This crane was actually, without a doubt, probably one of the bigger projects. Now, the crane itself is very easy to build. Building the foundation and the little stone, everything, this kind of mess I had to kind of throw together to get a proper platform over there. It's pretty extreme. Let's give you that before I go into the base, let's give you that top-down view of the arena. So as you can see, we've got some traps and barriers and stuff. So I've had some people fight in here, and they've told me they've had a lot of fun. So that's a nice little addition. We've still got plenty of trees here thanks to tree regrowing. And there's a lot to see here. You can see some very professional looking buildings on this side, and some more kind of new player stuff over here. And I mean, that's for a reason. This whole base came together very organically. We're gonna see here. We have more garden over here. And we've got a glider. We've got a number of gliders on this thing. I decided to leave this entertaining spazzy glider. But as you can see over here, the very humble origins of the base. You know, I think the very first thing I built in this game was this simple small cabin. And it had it started very simple. It had it was just like a couple drying racks and a garden, and obviously we just kept expanding and building. The gazebo is a relatively new addition. You can see the defenses here are pretty interesting. Obviously we're in the fertile plains. This is for me, this spot is the spot to build if anyone wants to make their game pretty much guarantee their survival. You come up here and you build on the fertile plains. The cannibals don't come here too often. There's plenty of wildlife. You can see a deer over there. Actually, there's probably a bit less because I built walls and stuff everywhere, and this is a very built up area now. But when I started, I would just have the deer and rabbits and everything just running around the base. And there's lots of coneflower up here. And you can see my defenses are a mix of stone walls. We've got the Deadfall Traps, and we've got a Happy Birthday Trap over here. I think if I was to start from the beginning, start over again, I'd probably focus more on building Happy Birthday Traps. But I'm pretty happy with how the defenses work. And but again, we are up on the fertile hills, so I'm not bothered too often. But yeah, you can see I've built storage for pretty much everything. That was kind of my main things. We've got a fun little hut here with. I went for my animal trophy head. So we've got an animal trophy for every single animal on this hut. This was one of the first structures I built, and this just rounded out my like basic storage of everything. And yeah, so like everything from like this building and stuff was relatively early on in my construction, and then I got some more people who really knew their stuff for building. So you can see here just a little collection of weapons, but that's just a small portion. This has become a completely just a skin holding rack, just a skin rack holding house. Looking a little barren here at the moment, but there you could still get a new player could come in and get a big boost in their skins. And here we have the very professional looking armor rack. And you can see we've got lots of armor stored here. This is actually on those. Usually I go a little crazier and I store like a bunch of these things everywhere. And you can see, yeah, very plentiful weapon collection that's been put together with a lot of helpful dupers. There's basically anything that's in the caves, we've got it here. And we've got bones over here. We've got arrows over here. And when it's at night, we've got the skull lamps and the standing torches to light our way. Now you can see here at the end some decorations I wanted to put in. We've got some end game decorations here, but as I stated before, a lot of people wouldn't have these, so these are kind of, I feel like these are very special, especially since we can still go beat Megan in this world, which is awesome. And got my rabbit farm over here. It's a time of day where it's a little less easy to see, but as you can see, it's pretty it's almost filled in. We've got 2 rabbits and almost everything. And this was something Ranger had set this up for me so I could put, stack rabbits on top of it. Obviously you couldn't stack rabbit cages on top of each other, so we built this structure on top so we could stack a bunch together. And then that means every time you sleep, you've got a chance to get more rabbits. Now we've got a tower here. We'll be going on top of that in a second. Here we've got, there's not too much here. This is just meant as like a cozy, it's just like a cozy vanity room. And up here we have the shopping center. As you can see, we have more supplies here than you could ever reasonably use. I made sure to put lots of candy bars, lots of snack bars for anyone going for their vegan achievement. I try not hoard a lot of that. And we see we have a gorgeous view out the balcony. So it's a bit of a strange concept. It's a gorgeous villa / shopping center. But I really do love the view back here. We have got a 2-person raft there to help kind of make it a little more scenic. And save point is strangely in the shopping center, but that's okay. There are less fun things in this world than waking up surrounded by an aisle full of goods. So we're on the tower. First, I almost forgot. We have got to. We have a garage for holding gliders. And there's one more thing I do have to show you, just because I don't know if I'm going to be coming back this way. I have, like I mentioned, the fertile plains, great spot for farming all kinds of things. We have 2 fish ponds in the fertile plains, so one convenient drying rack over here. And we have a nice little storage space down here. I actually asked no-legged cat to who's one of the main driving forces behind a lot of the buildings and stuff here. He built his like trademark little log holders, so these can hold a crazy amount of logs, and they look really nice to boot. And I can come down here to save. Now, obviously, you can see we've got flags and buildings everywhere, little rest spots everywhere. Some of them I turned the markers off. This is so, believe it or not, there's actually more houses in the world than you can actually see just from looking around at all the little house icons. But yeah, we have zip lines going across to the Cannibal Village. Actually, might as well show those off. And yeah, obviously the main Cannibal Village. Hopefully this isn't a spoiler because it's very early game. But this over here is where you go to get your map and compass, and you do have to physically go here because there isn't like that kind of system. As you can see, there's a Deadfall Trap and a little save spot here. Oh man, do I even remember where to go to get back? Maybe I don't. Oh no, it is right here. And obviously the red paint was right over there in that hut that I was in. We do have zip lines on the other side. I've kind of got crazy for zip lines. A lot of the zip lines were actually built later in the whole cycle of everything that I've done. Actually, I should have eat some blueberries, but oh well. Yeah, we're going to be finishing by taking up the tower. So for anyone who doesn't know, the tower recipes, there are several recipes you can only get in certain underwater bases. There's plenty of videos on that and online information. But the glider and the tower, you need special recipes in order to get those. It's going to just take me a second to get up here. We're going to be... Next base we're going to be heading to is going to be my northern base. I'm considering doing a little... Oh, wow, a nice, gorgeous view right here with the rainbow. I'm considering doing a... Alright. Might do some editing to cut down on what people actually have to look at. But yeah, like I said before, we are just shy of day 200. I have a little mini base to the left there, so there's other options for where if you want to come off the plane, that kind of hidden zipline will take you back here. But you guys can see I've got flags everywhere. Yellow is just most of the yellow things are just like extra little mini bases, so people can really stop and save. There's never have to walk too far to ever stop and save. The green flags are little mini resupply bases. So you can see an example of one here. Oh, there's not too much in here. Maybe it's just marking the pond. Oh no, I do have some drying racks over here. And there's the fish ponds. So fish ponds are my favorite place to build little mini resupply bases. And next we're going up into the north. So obviously the north is not the best place to farm for most of the game's resources, but it is really good for rabbit farming. And I will show you a couple spots where you can actually pick some decent things up. So here we got plenty of supplies just sitting outside in the base. Another tower, crane, a zipline system. Believe it or not, you can build gardens up in the snow, and you can see here, they're functional. You can build water collectors. They don't seem to collect water quite as often. We do have, obviously, fires and stuff out here, because obviously managing your heat and stuff is it. We've got a weapon rack, so you can come quickly dupe weapons. Quite a few little save points up here. As you can see, when you get closer to a structure, you and there's a nice little bench to recover my energy. This base is a little more of a work in progress than everything else I've shown you. Some more storage space, not obviously most of it's not filled yet, but we do have 3 full armor racks here. So every type of armor filled on a rack. And I will again, the steps are a little rough here. This is a build room we can still fill in. So this could be a little, if we ever wanted to do, like, I don't want to call it role RPing, but if, you know, maybe if we wanted to shoot like a video here and we wanted like a nice little northern villa. Again, it's no real reason to build 2 sleeping houses except just for looks. But that's what we have here. You can see it's actually pretty it's actually a really nice view out the window here. So, just see. I'm trying to decide how much I want to show you guys of the tower. So, there are 2 spots up here in the north where you can actually get something useful. Spoilers for anyone who hasn't been in the north before. So, that green flag is marking a spot where there's like some tents, a bunch of snacks and everything. Purple flag, well, purple flags actually always mark log carts, but I have actually parked the only 2 log carts I have left in the game, because I did delete a bunch of them. I parked them by the yacht and by the plane. Because of my zipline system, I can hop to one of these spots pretty quick and then back. I'm conflicted. You know what? I will... Actually, this is what I'll do. And then I'll run over there. So... Zip line to and from this spot over here. There's lots to farm over here. There's... Sorry, snowy men who've had a rough time. Easily grab snacks, soda. There's meds over there too. And then we're just gonna try and run relatively quickly over to the spot. But yeah, I don't think I've talked about what all the flags represent completely, but basically my system for these flags are, as you can see, really nice spot to farm bunnies. So I have green flags, resupply spots. Yellow flags are caves. These purple flags, like I said, are log carts that are outside of a couple key positions. And then here's the front of the plane there where you can get the flare gun. Obviously I already had that. And I chose to come here because then I can just take the zip line straight to the top of the base there and show you what I have there. So you'll see this has become a signature move of mine, is to build storage spaces to use as bumpers. And there's a crane coming in here. The crane's obviously a lot taller than it needs to be. And so just forgive me, we are going to be climbing this tower one more time. But that was because when we do get cannibals up here, it's nice to be able, I wanted to be able to like really raise myself high and then shoot down. Cannibals don't come up here too often. The north is a little bit off their patrol routes. But if you have an artifact like we actually do in this world, and you put one down, you can summon plenty to come up here and give you some action. Yeah, but this is red base, and so we're actually, believe it or not, we're actually going to go to one of the bases that's yellow. Ooh, this didn't work out well I wanted it to. Okay, that was not great. Now I used to have somebody started building a base over here. But yeah, the flags that I have are it's yellows marking caves. Alright, so here we go. We are at a so it's the third of the 4 bases I want to show you. It's nighttime, so I might actually sleep just so I can show you this during the day. It's a weird little lag thing in my multiplayer world for whatever. You can go over here. So I'm just going to be saving really quick, or not saving, but there we go. So we'll move it to morning so you guys can get a nice. So this is a base which I have built outside of Chasm Cave. So my inspiration behind this base was I wanted to build like a very efficient base, so there's that people could loot from quickly before they did a cave run at the very end of the game. You can see defenses are kind of like my main base. They're like a mix of Deadfall Traps, walls, and Happy Birthday Traps. My defenses here do need a little work, I know. I had this whole idea of trying incorporating the stone, you know, the kind of rocks into the defenses, which hasn't worked perfectly. There's still some gaps in the defenses I need to fix, but you can see there are a lot of water collectors around here. And the reason for that is because there's a lot of turtles around here. This is where turtles spawn. I don't see any right now, but trust me, they are around here. Oh yeah, and by the way, if you're looking at the catapults I have built and you're wondering why does Gildenlock bother with catapults? It is to store skulls in case I ever want to go crazy and build skull lamps everywhere. We got a good chunk of bones here, and place to burn the bones. As I said before, a ranger cat has been like a driving force behind kind of not just a log duping, but helping me set up a lot of blueprints. And this is his like signature water collector flower, which of course is a very easy spot to build one of those. And yeah, so we've got this kind of like super condensed tower. So right here, very quickly, you can save and load up on any weapons you need. And then just going up, I haven't filled in all the storage yet, but there's a handful of skins to help you get started. And I'm going to come back and fill this in a bit later, since I haven't really been taking too many people to Chasm Cave. And we got a nice little cozy room here at the top. As you can see, we've got the TV, which is endgame, and the dog, which are just endgame. And then everything else here is just to make it look nice. I wanted to build more like kind of cozy, just cozy rooms, just to have people some hangout spots. This area is patrolled pretty frequently by cannibals, So if we don't want to hear too many more of those screams, we might want to not stick around here too. But this is a tower. I have played with the idea of knocking out the ceiling and putting in a zip line going north. But this area is also very zip line friendly. Yeah, I just locked myself in, showing myself to be a very competent for the forest player. So, oh, and here are the turtles. I told you they spawned. We have lots of zip lines coming into the base and out of the base. You can hear some mutants coming. This is an area where you will get action if you hang out here for any decent length of time. And some zip lines that are taking me out of here. I do have a pair of zip lines to take me kind of directly south. I'm going to be taking some of the zip lines that will take me back to the plane. As you can see, two-way zip line here, two-way zip line here. So a little bit of backtracking is required right here. There are a couple zip lines I built that don't go all the way through. So this green flag, I have this marking a spot over here where you can pick up arrows. These little boxes over here all have like arrows and flares in them. So I wanted to mark that. And again, another little great spot to get food. We've got a fish pond, and there's like plenty of wildlife here. So I've built up a little mini base, like one of my bigger resupply bases there. And I can come here, another little spot to farm rabbits. Is this where I want to go? But as you can see with my bridge over there that I showed you in the beginning. But an interesting note, so my first, it was like almost 30 days of this game. I don't know, actually it probably wasn't that long, but my first, definitely there was a period of time at the start of this game I didn't build too much. And I literally just ran around resupplying, maybe doing a little spelunking. And what I did as I went around was I just marked everything with flags. So yellow has become my flag for cave markers, green resupply bases, red is Cannibal Villages, and blue used to be all the important caves, but it's now my one blue flag that marks the Rebreather Cave because it's really important, as I'll get into. You can see we're here back at the plane. As you can see, yeah, again, we got this skulls rock path that are designed to guide people into my main base. Now there's a spot back here I really need to guide players to. As you can see, cave marked with the yellow flag, as I said before. This red flag over here marks the Cannibal Village, but it also marks zip lines. Start to my very important zipline system. So we're taking you to my last base. Again, we got the signature bumper to stop people from, this would actually stop people from following this little pond here. I think this is our largest single building that we have built. I'm really, really happy with it. Again, we've got a little bit of a rabbit farm over here. Got a nice garden going in here that's had some fresh plants in it. And yeah, it's got a nice little combination of coziness and relevant storage space. So we've got some explosive racks and shelves full of goodies. Lots of snack bars here for anyone going for their vegan achievement. Also tons and tons of skins here. I'm glad to have some skin racks that are actually properly filled out. Skins aren't too hard to do, but yeah, you can see this is what I'm going for with the skin racks. And it's also what I'm going for with my armor racks. You can see plenty of armor here to help get people geared up. And plenty of weapons here as well. So we can just get people everything they need. So if I want to speed people through off the plane and towards the end game, I can totally do that. We got plenty of explosives. Also, we have more storage room in the bottom under the foundation. Right now it's just holding more of our signature log holders that No-Legged Cat likes to build. And he's also got the signature No-Legged Cat water collector, which I need to help myself to right now. Defenses here are pretty solid, but not perfect. Again, more skull storage over there. Unfortunately, these happy birthday traps have a lot of new players that come through here end up getting smacked by them when they somehow end up outside here, and then they're not familiar with the game enough. So as you can see, we've got this is a brilliant spot. So this was Zombie's influence right here. He's also the mastermind behind the shopping aisle center, and as you can see, great spot for just catching tons of lizards and rabbits. This was Zombie's idea, and it was totally worth building all these traps here to just easily farm rabbits and lizards. They spawn here like crazy. I don't know what it is. Oh, and also the other thing, we do have a pond in here, which I always like building near a pond. The other key thing is there are suitcases here. So the suitcases are here from the start of the game, so new players can come smack the suitcases because they're not open for new players, and then the new players get to help themselves to a bunch of goodies that are in suitcases. So this is like free extra resupply for anyone there because I built on top of suitcases. And I always like building near, even though it's not a fish pond, I always like having ponds around in case you want to put out fire or cleanse blood or anything like that. That's pretty much everything I needed to show you here. So I've shown you all 4 bases, and I am just going to be showing you kind of this last tower I built to wrap things up. So this base is that big base that you were just in. It's meant to be a sort of special on the way thingy here. So this cave is very special. This is a Rebreather Cave, and obviously there's minor spoilers here for anyone. For anyone who wants to, oh, again, we have an unmarked cabin here, so people can quickly save. So minor spoilers for anyone. Oh, signature log cabin. Oh, also this tower that I'm on is this is one of the later editions. After I built it, I had to go kind of clean up the world because I noticed we were kind of hitting the limit. Oh, this is one. We've got 2 zip lines actually that go to Blue Base, which I'm not going to show you in this because I want to finish off in the Mushroom Cave. So this is the zip line that goes back to Green Base, which is the base I just showed you. But this tower, I think I had help from Guardian and Bubbles, possibly Zombie, and my memory's not great. I'm going to try and include a proper list of credits in the comments or something of this video. So as you can see, we've got this is the 3rd and final tower. It's built outside of the Rebreather Cave for a reason. So we've got 2 zip lines that take you at least part of the way to Blue Base, which is outside the sinkhole. Actually, let me. Am I gonna? Yeah, I might. Anyway, I'll show you a little map towards the end here. So I can just give you a little aerial view of the base. But yeah, I'm quite proud of this final base that we had here, because the fact that we got every kind of storage, made it look cozy, made it tall enough that I can This is not where I want to go, but it's okay. So I might have to edit this little end sequence here, because where I'm trying to get is actually the cave with the I think this is where I was trying to get. Yeah, and again, we have an unmarked save spot. Yeah, this is where I want to finish things up. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, this game is, if I've got this right, I should be finishing this little demonstration. Aha, inside. So, and you can see this is for people who know multiplayer. People know how to knowing how to log dupe is a big thing. So that's why we've got the log holder here. So logs could be duped. So we could easily just build a bunch of gardens. Every single kind of mushroom that you could eat is in these gardens, and there's tons of them. So you could come here to store up a bunch of food and poisons. Actually, no, well, right now we're missing one of the, I think we're missing is it puff mushrooms? I don't know why this gun keeps having issues. So we'll fix that. Now we've got puff mushrooms in here. Yeah, puff mushrooms. But yeah, so you could, and obviously if you've got this pouch, you can store up a ton of mushrooms, and you've got tons of extra poison and food. And you can also eat all the mushrooms and get your achievement. So this is everything that's in my inventory. Obviously, it's very well filled in. Obviously, the only things we're missing is like maybe one weapon, some body parts, and some skins and meats. But what I have here is I've got all the parts for the robot toy intentionally not assembled. So if somebody comes to my world and they want their good father trophy, they can get that. Like you said, you can get I'm a fun guy trophy really easily just by coming in here. And then the whole thing is set up to help people get their endgame trophies really easily, including the vegan trophy. So that is what the world is set up to do. So I showed you pretty much everything but blue base, but I hope you guys have enjoyed looking at this. If you have, I think this is, I don't think I need to do too much editing. I think I have this set up more or less the way that I want. If you guys had any other questions about my little tour or anything like that, I'm more than happy to answer them. And I really hope you guys have enjoyed looking at everything that we've got going on in the forest in terms of base construction. And I really am glad you guys took this little tour with me, and I welcome your feedback. And until next time, everybody, I shall see you Starside.